Hello everyone, I'm Tari Masaison. I'm a physiotherapist. I'm here with a team from Spero Child International. We've come to assess the child. This is Ainyamukama Austin, who is a child living with quadriplegic cerebral palsy, which is a neurological condition that affects the general body tone of the child, and he finds it difficult in controlling his body. So the intention of this shoot is to assess the child, to see the treatment plan of how we can be able to achieve the development, proper development, and then assess the required assistive devices that will be required for the child, so that he can be able to achieve other activities of daily living, and to live more of to try and implement more of independence in the child's activities.
My name is Annette Twesije, and I am the wife to Asaftu Namasko. We stay in Remjina Central, Kachika, Mbarara, and I am the mother to Austin. Austin is 9 years old and he is my firstborn.
So Austin kiza twashanga ine kizibu.
We never realized Austin had any complications until he was 8 months old. Apart from needing respiratory assistance after birth, Austin spent the 7 months of his childhood looking rather healthy. He had average body weight, he was resistant to most illnesses, and he seemed very, very healthy to us. However, when he did clock the 5 months where we do expect a baby to be sitting, Austin was unable to sit. Austin felt weak all across the joints. He could not sit upright. We tried to support him in a basin to push him to learn how to sit, but all in vain. At 8 months, we realized something was wrong and we did take him to Mbarara Referral Hospital, who referred us to Ruharo Hospital. Upon reaching Ruharo Hospital, the doctors told us that Austin's brain got paralyzed at birth. They told us the condition was called Cerebral Palsy. They gave us time that we would keep coming to the hospital to get consultations and guidance on how to take care of Austin. After 1 and 2 years, Austin still was unable to sit. So they gave us a supportive chair that he would sit on to help him sit upright. At the age of 4 years, Austin greatly resented the chair. He would always cry when you put him into the chair, and at around 5 years, we decided to stop putting him into the chair. A friend of mine recommended that we should visit Makerere Hospital, and she told me that she knew a doctor who would be able to help. We visited the doctor. The doctor dismissed us, saying that the case was not one that needed further attention, and he did ask what we were going through and the procedures we were taking to take care of Austin back home. And he told us to keep visiting the rehabilitation center we were visiting in Ruharo. I was heavily challenged when I had my second born, and it was delivered by surgery. This left me really weak, and I was unable to fully attend to Austin's routine of exercises. However, I did manage to go back to the doctors, and they advised me accordingly on how I should keep exercising. We kept doing that. Over the next 2.5 years, Austin was able to crawl, and we would see him on his knees crawling, and it was a big achievement, and we were happy for that. Austin yayajura twasimara hanga akwaka moving from one place to another yagumza muna yajura kandi ari kuchikunda munonga. So 1 year down the road, Austin was able to walk if supported by people on his sides holding his hands. This was something we considered miraculous, and we thanked God for it. Akakunda kugira ngo atambure mutambura mukoze exercise yo kutambura kandi ashemerire kuyagumiza muna yajura omyaka nkena etano. Within that year, Austin did get complications with one of the veins that was moving blood across his foot. I took Austin to the hospital to check for the complication, and the doctors advised me to regularly train him so that he could get better and stop weakening the vein that was actually damaged. I tried to restrain him from sitting and crawling because I was told that was what is causing the vein to get complications. But at this stage, Austin already resented the supportive seat that he was given. He really would cry whenever I would put him into the seat, and he would break out of it and still continue to crawl. Nabwe chakarika chamwe affecting hatiya okuguma kweye komsi na amaguru kubera kustretchinga chayeshanga nkati chikamwe chizo kusimba amaju. The situation got really bad to a point where he could no longer stand and walk as he used to do. I tried to follow the doctor's advice and keep exercising Austin's body, but whenever I would move his joints, I would feel the stiffness, and it would really be so stiff that you could even touch the muscles and feel them very strained. Austin reached the age of 6 when he could not hold a cup for himself, he could not drink on his own, he could not feed himself. But at the age of 6, he started to hold his own cup. He started to tell us when he wanted to go for short calls or long calls, and this was very big progress that we thanked God for. Mwendeba ngu haro chango munonga echi yatandikire ku developing amagara ge echi yabiratine before. So far now, at the moment, Austin is able to drink on his own fully, but he still cannot feed himself fully because he tries to pick up the food and bring it close to his mouth, but he cannot fully eat a whole meal and finish it by himself. We still have to aid him in the feeding. Konka ko kunywa nabasa kwenyusa mari
ahagi ekyo nakyo ntusiimiraho Ruhanga munonga. Then okweriisa niyo challenge empango eryaho. Then apart from kugira ngu amaguru gakanga stretching kunkuba nindeba
Another challenge that Austin is facing at the moment are his feet. One of the legs is taller than the other due to the complications that he got with the vein that moves across the foot. This causes him problems whenever he is trying to stand up and he is unable to actually stand on his 2 feet alone. As a parent, I also find very hard time trying to move Austin around, moving him from his bed, moving him to the toilet, moving him to a potty, and all those activities that I have to do for him since he cannot be able to walk. Austin is a fully grown child and he is very heavy for me. I try with all my strength to do this, but it proves to be a big toll for me. I believe Austin would need to go to school. One time, when his siblings were coaching from home, Austin attended the classes. You could tell that he was understanding what he was being taught, and he would write where possible. Austin did perform better than some of his siblings in the class, and we were really proud of that. His speech was really low, but still we could tell Austin was really interested in studying.
Konkweba nguwenka nk'omuntu nakimanya ngu yabasinga ninga namangu aha bamusinga omwe n'omuntu abandi agamba nka anseta kirora Austin yashe zo atari able kukigamba konka mangu ori ekiyagamba kiki twareba Austin ayine interest mpango yo kuzayishomera so kutwabe ntugamba cyo kuzayishomera n'abarumu n'ababe no humurika tamwe yawira Austin akana ahura ko muno.
In the previous term, when his siblings were returning from holidays, Austin was feeling really bad because he also wished he would have been with them at school. I remember one time I discussed with you, Spero International, and you told me about a school where he could attend that was near to your offices. I went and talked to the headmaster, and he gave me the requirements for the school entry. When I discussed the requirements with his dad, the dad said that it was out of our capacity. This was because the school fees were really high and the requirements were also many and we could not afford them. We decided to put the studying on pause because the headmaster told us without a wheelchair it would be relatively impossible for Austin to keep moving around school. This was because the task of moving Austin around was easy for us as parents, but it would prove very challenging for a teacher to actually do the same. So the first requirement for us to take him to school would be a wheelchair, which we did not have in possession. We could tell that Austin was feeling bad about this because whenever his siblings would go to school, he would remain home very sad, but when they would stay with him, he would be very happy. This helped us come to the conclusion that Austin really wanted to study. I want to thank Spero Child International, especially one man called Bright, who I was attending the same church with. So one day when he did contact me about helping us with the child, I was very, very pleased. I want to thank Spero Child International team and everyone behind that is supporting Spero Child. My belief is that one day Austin will be able to walk, and I pray to God that it does happen that way. At some point, even when he is playing with his siblings, you can realize that he also notices there is a difference between him and his siblings. He can tell that they are able to do some things that he cannot. The same way he started crawling all of a sudden, and I believe that he will go to class, he will be able to read and write.
nyenchaka turebe Austin yatandika kuhandika nawe yazo mukirasi yatandika kusoma nk'abandi abarema barimu
I have seen people who are pediatrics and they are able to do things, and I do believe Austin will be able to do the same.
ariyo murema hambiri konka amagezi abase kugira eki yayikora so ninshaba hanga kugira ngo Austin nawe azargemo ondizo
I do hope Austin is able to help someone in his future, and I would be very happy if that happened.